When you hear the word ritual, do you imagine something distant? Something ancient, maybe even silent? But to me, a ritual breathes. It speaks through rhythm and motion. Hello, everyone. I'm Yeonhee Lee, a cultural commentator devoted to sharing the living pulse of tradition. Today, I invite you into a space where time slows and each movement carries meaning. A space called Jongmyo Jeryeak, the royal ancestral ritual of Joseon. In my years of study and guidance, I've met many who asked, "Isn't that just old music?" But once they listen, truly listen, they realize it's not about the past. It's about presence. Every note in this ritual was once a prayer for harmony. Every step a promise of balance between heaven and the human world. And when we today breathe in that same rhythm, we're not just remembering history, we're continuing it. That, I believe, is the true power of Jongmyo Jeryeak. Page 2. The balance of holding on. Keeping tradition alive is never a simple path. It's not just about memory. It's about choice. Each time I perform or explain, I face a quiet question. What do we keep and what do we change? To hold on too tightly, and the world moves past you. To let go too easily, and the meaning fades away. That is the balance we live in. Those of us who serve tradition. There are moments of pride when a young visitor's eyes light up at the sound of the first drum, and there are moments of doubt when the crowd grows restless, searching for faster, louder things. But in those contrasts, I find purpose, because tradition isn't about resistance, it's about resonance. If even one person feels their heartbeat slow to match the rhythm of Jongmyo Jeryeak, then this ancient ritual has found life again. That, to me, is gain beyond measure. Page 3, Sejong's dream in sound and silence. King Sejong once said, "Music is the voice of virtue." He believed that harmony and sound could create harmony in the nation. So he composed not for glory, but for balance, between rulers and people, between heaven and earth. Jongmyo Jeryeak was born from that vision of order. Every melody, every beat was written to restore peace to a restless world. Sejong understood something timeless, that people's hearts can be guided not by force, but by beauty. When drums and flutes align, when dancers move as one breath, it is not a performance. It is a dialogue between spirit and society. Even today, when I listen to those ancient notes, I feel his dream still echoing. A dream where leadership was measured not in power, but in harmony. That is the rhythm our ancestors left for us, and the rhythm we must now learn to play again. Page 4, tradition meets the modern stage. When I see Jongmyo Jeryeak on a modern stage, under new lights and angles, I don't see change. I see continuation. The instruments remain ancient, yet the intention feels new. The dancers move with grace, but their energy belongs to today. To reinterpret tradition is not to rewrite it, but to reawaken it. Our audiences are different now. They breathe faster, think in seconds, scroll through sound and image. So we invite them to slow down with us, to rediscover stillness in the rhythm of the ritual. When old melodies meet modern vision, something powerful happens. History starts to listen back. I've seen young performers find pride in this music, and foreign visitors stand in quiet awe. That is when I know the ritual still speaks, just in a new voice. Page 5, the rhythm within us. Sometimes when I stand before the grand court stage, I feel a pulse beneath my feet, not from the drum, but from the ground itself. It's the heartbeat of those who once bowed, who once played, who once dreamed here. And in that moment, I realize tradition is not something we keep. It is something that keeps us. It shapes how we listen, how we respect, how we remember. When we raise our hands in dance or bow to the first note of the ritual, we are greeting the past as if it were an old friend. Each of us carries that rhythm. Even if we've never heard the music, it lives in our gestures, in the silence before we speak, in the breath before we move. That, to me, is the quiet miracle of heritage, that it connects us without ever needing words. Page 6, carrying the light forward. As I close today's story, I think of how fragile and yet how strong our traditions truly are. They survive not in museums, but in moments like this, when one heart listens to another. Jongmyo Jeryeak is not just music. It is a way of remembering who we are and how we came to be. Each generation must decide how to carry its light not by imitating the past, but by understanding it deeply. And if this story, this rhythm, has touched you today, then you too are part of that long, beautiful echo. Let us keep it alive, in our steps, in our breath, in our daily kindness. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Yeonhee Lee, your cultural guide and friend. If you felt the rhythm today, please subscribe and walk with me again into the heart of tradition.